$30 million. I mean, just take a second and let that number really sink in. For most of us, that's literally lottery-winning generational wealth, right? It could buy a sprawling estate in Beverly Hills, maybe a private island in the Caribbean, or honestly, it could probably fund the operating budget of a small town for an entire year. But today, we aren't talking about prime real estate or private islands. We're talking about the price tag attached to a single, four-wheeled vehicle.
Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're embarking on a climb up the ladder of absolute, pure automotive absurdity. We are going to look at the definitive rankings of the world's most expensive cars for 2026. We're breaking down the data, the engineering, the mind-boggling craftsmanship, and frankly, the sheer audacity of these machines.
Now, I want you to hold this one specific question in your mind as we go through this today. What exactly does a $30 million car look like? And honestly, more importantly, what on earth justifies that price tag? Is it just raw speed? Is it gold-plated interiors? Or is it something entirely different? Well, by the end of our time together today, you're going to have the exact answer.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for the climb. We'll start by defining extreme automotive wealth. Move into hypercars under 10 million, explore eight-figure speed and heritage, examine the bespoke coach-built kings, and finally ask, are these even usable vehicles?
Section 1. Defining extreme automotive wealth beyond the dealership.
So, right off the bat, you have to understand that you can't just walk into a luxury dealership, point at a car on the showroom floor, and drive one of these away. The normal rules of retail, they simply do not apply here. As the data shows, prices vary wildly based on individual commissions, extreme customization, and shifting market conditions. These aren't mass-produced cars rolling off an assembly line. They're one-off creations or extremely limited editions built exclusively for high-end collectors. This tier of ownership is really all about securing an allocation, leveraging a decades-long relationship with the manufacturer, and quite frankly, having a blank checkbook.
Moving right along to Section 2. Hypercars under $10 million, the quote-unquote entry-level exclusives. Now, I know, using the phrase entry-level for cars that cost between $5 and $10 million is, well, it's pretty ridiculous, right? But in this specific stratosphere, this is really where the madness begins. At this tier, you're paying for striking aesthetics, experimental materials, and hyper-exclusivity. Take the Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita at over $5 million. It doesn't just have a standard carbon fiber body. Koenigsegg actually developed a proprietary technique to literally infuse the carbon matrix with real diamond dust, making the car sparkle like a million jewels in the sunlight. Then there's the Mercedes-Maybach Excelera at roughly $7 million, a massive, sinister, complete one-off limousine coupe that commands unbelievable presence. And pushing the upper limit of this bracket is the Pagani Huayra Codalonga at $8 to $9 million, featuring that quintessential Pagani design and a sweeping long-tail style built for high-speed stability. Even at this quote-unquote lower end, the engineering is absolutely uncompromising.
Section 3. Eight-figure speed and heritage, pushing the limits.
This is where we cross that massive psychological and literal financial threshold of $10 million. In this tier, the mind-boggling price tags are justified by either defying the laws of physics or capturing incredible automotive nostalgia. And what's really fascinating here is how a single manufacturer absolutely dominates this specific financial bracket: Bugatti. You have the Chiron Profile and the Centodieci, both sitting right around that $11.7 to $11.8 million mark. The Centodieci is this highly desirable tribute to the classic 1990s EB110, limited to just 10 units worldwide, an instant unicorn. And then, jumping significantly up the ladder, we have Bugatti's La Voiture Noire at a staggering $18.7 million. These machines are powered by legendary 1,600-plus horsepower quad-turbo W16 engines. You are paying for record-setting, earth-shattering engineering and an unparalleled level of collector appeal.
But you know, Bugatti isn't the only one pushing the absolute limits here. While that $18.7 million Bugatti maxes out around an astonishing 261 miles per hour, you've got competitors entering the fray, like the mysterious SP Automotive Chaos. This ultra-high-priced hypercar houses a 4.0-liter V10, pushing an absolutely unbelievable 3,000 horsepower. It goes from 0 to 62 in about 1.8 seconds, with a reported top speed of 310 miles per hour. It's quite literally one of the fastest accelerating internal combustion vehicles ever conceived, basically blurring the line between an automobile and a fighter jet.
However, all this extreme engineering comes with some pretty hilarious caveats. Let's look at the Pagani Zonda HP Barchetta, which will set you back around $17 million. Because it offers this pure, analog, track-focused driving experience, it's actually defined by what you do not get. You get an extremely harsh ride. You get virtually zero modern comfort features. It's loud, it's incredibly firm, the carbon fiber cockpit is totally cramped, and you have almost no driver safety or assist systems. That's right, you're paying $17 million for the absolute privilege of losing the comforts and conveniences you'd find in a standard $20,000 commuter car. It's a pure, unadulterated performance tool.
Which brings us to Section 4, the bespoke coach-built kings. The ultimate flex.
We have officially reached the climax of our journey. We're leaving the traditional, super loud, ultra-fast supercars behind and entering a totally different universe where the very definition of luxury fundamentally changes. Compare that $18.7 million Bugatti with its 261 mile-per-hour top speed to the Rolls-Royce boat tail. The boat tail costs nearly $10 million more, sitting at $28 million, but its top speed is heavily restricted to 155 miles per hour. Why? Because it's incredibly heavy. And why is it heavy? Because it features a yacht-inspired rear deck that opens up like butterfly wings to reveal an entire ultra-luxury cocktail suite, complete with a built-in refrigerator for vintage champagne and an expanding parasol to provide shade. The flex here isn't going 300 miles per hour. It's the ability to host a perfectly chilled, completely bespoke picnic on the French Riviera.
To really grasp this tier, we need to talk about the term bespoke coach-built. This is a highly personalized, deeply intimate manufacturing process. The manufacturer essentially provides the underlying chassis and engine, like Rolls-Royce's whisper-quiet 6.75-liter twin-turbo V12. But from there, the entire body, the sweetening lines, and the interior are custom crafted almost exclusively for one specific client. It is literally automotive haute couture. You're paying for the thousands upon thousands of hours of specialized artisans crafting every single millimeter, hand polishing every wood veneer, and stitching every piece of leather to your exact, uncompromising personal specifications.
And that brings us to the #1 spot for 2026. The Rolls-Royce La Rose Noire Droptail. Just think about that again. $30 million. There are only about 4 of these units worldwide. For that immense price, you are buying unmatched bespoke artistry. It's essentially a one-off build featuring incredibly complex parquetry, woodwork that's crafted from over 1,000 individual hand-cut triangles to resemble falling rose petals. The craftsmanship is so extreme, so painstaking, that it's just unmatched anywhere else in the world. And because of this profound rarity and artistic merit, its value as a true collector's item is only likely to rise. And finally, Section 5, usable vehicles, or alternative investments.
So the really crucial takeaway here is this. Once you cross that multi-million-dollar mark, standard everyday utility, it completely vanishes. These cars are not intended for daily driving. The multi-million-dollar Bugattis are too low and aggressive for speed bumps, while the coach-built Rolls-Royces are just too heavy, too long, and too wide for tight city streets or normal driving. Plus, the maintenance is specialized and astronomically costly, requiring engineers to sometimes fly across the globe just to perform an oil change. Ultimately, their resale value is tied strictly to their rarity and collector demand, absolutely not their ability to get you from point A to point B.
Taking a step back to just view the massive financial scale of our top 5 vehicles together, the picture is just astounding. From the $30 million La Rose Noire down to the $17 million Pagani Zonda, these top 5 spots are dominated exclusively by bespoke, ultra-luxury, and extreme, boundary-pushing hypercars. They represent the very pinnacle of human engineering, fanatical artistic craftsmanship, and, let's be honest, highly concentrated wealth.
Which leaves us with this final thought. When a vehicle becomes a multi-million-dollar asset that's literally too precious, too uncomfortable, or just too rare to ever actually drive on a public road, what does it become? Are we looking at the greatest engineering masterpieces of the 21st century, pushing the absolute boundaries of what is mechanically and artistically possible? Or, at the end of the day, are these just incredibly fast, beautifully designed bank vaults for the ultra-wealthy? It's a really fascinating question, and one that kind of changes how we look at the entire automotive industry. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking questions, and I'll catch you on the next one.